Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Speaking Edge, your go-to channel to practice professional English and prepare for real job interviews. Today, we're diving into one of the most essential fields in finance, taxation. Whether you're applying for a tax specialist, senior tax specialist, tax manager, or tax director position, this complete interview series will help you sound confident, fluent, and professional in English. You'll learn how to answer the most common and challenging questions across different levels of a tax career, from technical knowledge and compliance strategies to leadership, audit management, and global tax planning. Stay with us till the end for bonus tips to help you impress your interviewer and advance your tax career. Now, let's begin with the tax specialist position. Tell me about your experience in tax preparation and compliance.
I have over 2 years of experience working as a tax specialist, where my main responsibilities included preparing and filing corporate and individual tax returns, ensuring compliance with local and federal tax regulations. I also assisted with VAT and income tax filings, reconciled financial data, and supported audits. My work required precision analytical skills and the ability to manage multiple deadlines effectively, especially during peak filing seasons.
How do you stay updated with changing tax laws and regulations?
I make it a habit to review updates from the tax authorities, attend professional workshops, and subscribe to newsletters from accounting firms. I also take online tax compliance courses when new regulations are introduced. Staying updated ensures that every filing I prepare reflects the latest rules and prevents compliance risks for my employer.
Describe a time when you found and corrected a tax error.
In one instance, I noticed a discrepancy between the reported expense deductions and supporting documents. After reviewing the data, I identified that some entries were duplicated. I promptly corrected the report, recalculated the return, and discussed it with my supervisor before submission. This not only avoided potential penalties, but also improved our internal review checklist.
What tax software and tools are you proficient in?
I'm proficient in using SAP, Oracle, QuickBooks, and Excel for data analysis and reconciliations. I've also used tax-specific platforms like Thomson Reuters OneSource for corporate tax filings and VAT compliance. These tools have helped me automate repetitive tasks and improve accuracy.
How do you manage tight deadlines during tax season?
I use detailed work schedules, prioritize urgent filings, and set up daily progress goals. I maintain open communication with my team to ensure dependencies are clear and no submission is delayed. Time management and teamwork are key during high-pressure months.
What steps do you take to ensure accuracy in your work?
I always double-check calculations, use automated checks in Excel, and review every entry against supporting documents. I also maintain a review checklist to confirm completeness before submission, to minimize human error.
Can you explain how that works?
Value-added tax. VAT is a consumption tax applied at each stage of production or distribution. Businesses collect VAT from customers on sales and pay VAT on purchases. The difference is remitted to the tax authority. As a tax specialist, I ensure proper classification of taxable and exempt transactions and accurate reconciliation of VAT input and output.
How do you handle communication with auditors?
One, maintain clear, transparent communication. When auditors request data, I provide well-organized documentation with proper references. If discrepancies arise, I explain our process and documentation sources clearly. This builds credibility and trust.
What challenges have you faced in tax reporting, and how did you overcome them?
Once, we faced incomplete records for certain supplier invoices. I coordinated with procurement and accounting to trace missing documents, verified their authenticity, and updated the filing. That taught me the importance of cross-department coordination.
How do you prioritize tasks when managing multiple filings?
I categorize tasks based on filing deadlines, company importance and complexity. I start with the most urgent and high-risk items, then move to routine filings. I also set reminder alerts to ensure timely completion.
What motivates you in your tax career?
I enjoy the analytical aspect of tax work and the sense of accomplishment when ensuring compliance and accuracy. Taxes affect every financial decision, and I find satisfaction in helping my company avoid risks and operate smoothly.
Describe a situation when you worked in a team to complete a complex filing.
During a corporate consolidation, our team collaborated across departments to prepare a single consolidated tax return for multiple subsidiaries. My role was to reconcile intercompany transactions. Good communication and attention to detail helped us meet the filing deadline successfully.
How do you deal with ambiguity in tax interpretations?
When encountering unclear tax guidance, I research the relevant tax laws, consult reliable sources, and discuss interpretations with my supervisor or legal team. I believe in taking a cautious, evidence-based approach.
How do you manage confidential tax data?
I follow company data protection policies strictly. I store all tax files in secured, access-controlled systems and never share confidential information through unapproved channels.
Why do you want to grow in the tax field?
I find tax a challenging and rewarding field that requires both technical knowledge and strategic thinking. I aim to keep learning and eventually move into advisory and leadership roles where I can contribute to business decisions.
Now that we've covered the fundamentals, let's move to the senior tax specialist level, where responsibilities expand to reviewing, mentoring, and optimizing compliance across departments. How does your role as a senior tax specialist differ from a tax specialist?
As a senior tax specialist, I not only handle my own filings but also review and approve the work prepared by junior staff. I provide technical guidance, monitor deadlines, and ensure compliance accuracy. I'm also involved in planning and identifying areas for process improvement.
Describe a complex tax issue you've resolved.
In one case, our company received conflicting advice about a withholding tax rate under a double taxation treaty. I analyzed the treaty articles, consulted local advisors, and confirmed the correct rate. I then updated our internal policy, saving the company unnecessary overpayments.
How do you ensure compliance in multiple jurisdictions?
I track filing requirements and deadlines for each region using compliance calendars. I maintain communication with local tax teams and review all returns for consistency and accuracy. Regular check-ins prevent last-minute issues.
How do you mentor or train junior staff?
I believe in hands-on training. I walk junior members through real examples, explain why certain decisions are made, and review their work constructively. I also create internal cheat sheets and checklists to improve their understanding of tax filing steps.
What's your approach to reviewing tax returns prepared by others?
I carefully review calculations, source documentation, and any unusual transactions. I also verify that deductions and credits comply with regulations. My focus is on both accuracy and clarity in explanations.
How do you identify tax-saving opportunities?
By analyzing expense classifications, timing of deductions, and potential credits, I identify legitimate opportunities for savings. For example, I once discovered unused R&D credits that reduced our company's tax liability by several $1,000s.
How do you handle disagreements with external auditors?
I approach such situations calmly, using facts and documentation to support our position. I maintain a professional tone and focus on resolving issues constructively without escalating unnecessarily.
Tell me about a time when you improved a tax process.
I noticed repetitive manual reconciliations in our VAT filings, so I developed an Excel macro that automated parts of the process. This reduced processing time by 30% and improved consistency.
How do you manage multiple projects simultaneously?
I use project management tools to track progress and assign priorities. Weekly check-ins with team members help ensure deadlines are met, and I maintain contingency plans for unexpected changes.
What role does communication play in your job?
It's essential. I communicate tax updates to other departments, explain the impact of new regulations, and ensure management understands tax risks and opportunities in plain language.
How do you approach continuous learning in tax?
I regularly attend webinars and pursue certifications such as CTA or CPA. I believe continuous learning keeps me relevant and effective in a constantly changing tax landscape.
How do you handle last-minute regulatory changes?
I remain flexible. When new rules are announced, I quickly review their implications, adjust filings, and communicate changes to management and staff. I also document all updates for future reference.
What was your biggest challenge as a senior tax specialist?
Once, we had to restate tax filings after a policy change. Coordinating with all regions under tight deadlines was challenging, but careful planning, teamwork, and persistence helped us submit on time.
How do you build strong relationships with stakeholders?
By being responsive, reliable, and transparent. I maintain regular updates with finance, legal, and external advisors to ensure smooth coordination and trust.
Where do you see your career heading next?
I aim to move into a tax manager position where I can lead a team, develop strategies, and contribute to organizational decision-making at a higher level.
Now that we've mastered the senior level, let's step up to tax manager, where leadership and strategic vision define success. How do you ensure that your organization remains compliant with evolving tax laws and regulations?
As a tax manager, I take a proactive approach by establishing a compliance calendar that tracks all relevant filing deadlines and legal updates. One, maintain ongoing communication with local and international tax authorities, and subscribe to regulatory update services. Additionally, I conduct periodic internal reviews to ensure that our filings reflect the latest laws and interpretations. By training my team and updating internal procedures accordingly, I create a system that not only ensures compliance, but also minimizes the risk of penalties or audits.
Describe how you lead and manage a tax team during the busy filing season.
During peak filing seasons, my leadership style combines structure with support. I assign tasks based on each team member's strengths, set clear milestones, and hold short daily check-ins to track progress. I also keep communication open for problem solving and provide mentorship to junior staff. When pressure builds, I step in to handle complex cases myself, setting an example of accountability. My goal is to balance efficiency with well-being, ensuring my team meets deadlines without burnout.
What is your approach to tax planning for the company?
Tax planning begins with a deep understanding of the company's business goals. I analyze projected revenues, expenses, and investments to identify tax-efficient strategies such as deferrals, credits, and timing optimizations. I also collaborate with finance and legal teams to ensure all decisions align with compliance requirements. Strategic tax planning helps reduce liability legally, while improving cash flow and profitability, which adds measurable value to the organization.
Tell me about a major tax challenge you faced and how you resolved it.
In one fiscal year, our company underwent a major restructuring that involved multiple entities across different jurisdictions. The challenge was ensuring proper transfer pricing and avoiding double taxation. I coordinated with external consultants, analyzed intercompany transactions, and prepared documentation that supported our arm's-length pricing. The final audit confirmed full compliance, and the company avoided substantial exposure. This experience reinforced my ability to manage complexity with thorough analysis and collaboration.
How do you handle communication with top management and external auditors?
When communicating with executives, I translate complex tax issues into simple business terms, focusing on financial impact and strategic implications. With auditors, I maintain full transparency, providing organized documentation and evidence for all positions taken. I believe in open professional communication that builds trust and demonstrates competence on both sides.
How do you evaluate the performance of your tax team?
I use a combination of quantitative metrics, like accuracy rates and filing timeliness, and qualitative assessments, such as problem solving, initiative, and collaboration. Regular feedback sessions and annual performance reviews help identify strengths and development areas. I also set clear growth plans for each team member to encourage continuous learning and engagement.
How do you identify and implement tax process improvements?
I begin by reviewing recurring tasks that consume excessive time or are prone to human error. Then, I explore automation opportunities through software integration or Excel-based tools. For instance, I introduced a digital workflow for VAT reconciliations that cut review time by 40%. Continuous improvement is essential to keeping the tax function efficient and scalable.
How do you ensure cross-departmental collaboration in tax matters?
Tax doesn't operate in isolation. I maintain regular communication with departments such as finance, procurement, and HR to ensure all tax-related inputs are correct and timely. By participating in interdepartmental meetings and explaining the why behind tax requirements, I promote awareness and accountability across the company.
Describe your approach to managing tax audits.
I prepare for audits year-round by ensuring that documentation is complete, organized, and accessible. When an audit occurs, I act as the central point of contact, facilitating communication between auditors and internal teams. My strategy is to present information clearly, avoid speculation, and maintain professionalism throughout the process. Preparation and transparency are key to smooth audits.
What is your experience with transfer pricing and intercompany transactions?
I have managed transfer pricing documentation for multinational operations, ensuring compliance with OECD guidelines. I review intercompany agreements, benchmark prices using comparables, and document economic justifications. Consistent documentation protects the company from tax disputes and supports compliance across jurisdictions.
How do you handle disagreements within your team?
Disagreements are natural in technical discussions. I encourage open dialogue, ask team members to explain their reasoning, and guide the conversation toward the most accurate and compliant outcome. If needed, I make the final decision based on regulations and company policy, while ensuring everyone understands the rationale.
How do you evaluate and select external tax advisors?
When choosing external advisors, I assess their technical expertise, industry experience, and responsiveness. I also consider cost-effectiveness and their ability to provide practical, tailored advice. Building long-term relationships with advisors who understand our business context ensures consistency and trust.
How do you balance compliance and strategic tax planning?
The key is to treat compliance as the foundation and strategy as the optimization layer. I ensure all filings are accurate and timely, and then look for ways to legally minimize liability through incentives, credits, or entity structuring. It's about achieving tax efficiency without compromising integrity or compliance.
What steps do you take to ensure ethical tax practices?
Ethical responsibility is critical. I ensure all planning strategies align with the spirit as well as the letter of the law. I maintain transparency with auditors and management, avoid aggressive interpretations, and prioritize the company's reputation. Ethical behavior protects long-term trust with regulators and investors alike.
What are your long-term goals as a tax manager?
My goal is to grow into a strategic leadership role, such as tax director, where I can influence corporate financial strategy, oversee multiple jurisdictions, and lead global tax planning. I believe strong management combines technical mastery with visionary leadership.
Now that we've covered the managerial perspective, Let's move to the tax director role, the executive level where the focus shifts to strategy, global tax planning, mergers and acquisitions, and influencing overall business direction. How would you describe your overall tax leadership philosophy?
My philosophy is built on 3 pillars: compliance, efficiency, and strategy. I believe in establishing a solid foundation of compliance, then driving efficiency through automation and continuous improvement, and finally building strategy aligned with business growth. I lead by empowering my team with knowledge and encouraging proactive thinking, so tax becomes a business partner rather than a back-office function.
How do you align tax strategy with overall corporate objectives?
I work closely with executive management and finance to understand the company's strategic direction, such as expansion, acquisitions, or restructuring. Based on these goals, I assess the tax implications and opportunities, then propose structures that enhance profitability while maintaining compliance. For example, during a regional expansion, I developed a tax-efficient structure that minimized withholding taxes and improved cash repatriation.
What's your experience with international tax planning?
I have extensive experience designing cross-border tax strategies for multinational entities. This includes reviewing treaty benefits, managing permanent establishment risks, overseeing transfer pricing, and ensuring compliance with BEPS, base erosion and profit shifting, standards. The goal is always to achieve efficient global structures without exposing the company to unnecessary regulatory risks.
How do you approach mergers and acquisitions from a tax perspective?
I begin by conducting thorough due diligence, assessing target company liabilities, transfer pricing positions, and tax exposures. During integration, I focus on aligning systems and policies. My approach ensures that acquisitions are both tax efficient and sustainable in the long term.
How do you lead a global tax function across multiple jurisdictions?
I set clear governance frameworks and communication channels. Regional tax leads report to me through a matrix structure, allowing for local flexibility with centralized control. Regular coordination meetings ensure consistency and transparency. I also invest in technology platforms that streamline compliance across borders.
How do you manage relationships with senior executives and the board?
I communicate complex tax issues in clear business terms, emphasizing risks, financial impacts, and solutions. I prepare concise executive summaries for board meetings and use data visualization to support decision-making. My role is to provide confidence that the tax function protects and supports the company's goals.
What is your approach to risk management in tax?
I use a risk-based framework, identifying, assessing, and prioritizing tax risks by financial exposure and likelihood. I implement mitigation strategies, from improved documentation to regular audits. Transparent reporting ensures that leadership understands both risks and remediation efforts.
Describe how you've driven transformation in the tax department.
In my last role, I led a digital transformation project implementing a centralized tax data management system. This streamlined workflows, reduced manual effort, and improved data integrity. I also developed KPI dashboards that gave real-time visibility into compliance performance across regions.
How do you balance tax optimization with corporate reputation?
Reputation is non-negotiable. I ensure that every tax strategy we pursue is transparent, defensible, and aligned with both the law and ethical standards. Aggressive avoidance tactics might save money short-term, but they damage long-term credibility. My focus is on sustainable efficiency.
What's your experience with tax dispute resolution?
I've managed several complex disputes, including transfer pricing and indirect tax assessments. My approach is to build strong documentation, engage early with authorities, and maintain a constructive, fact-based dialogue. Often, this leads to resolution without litigation.
How do you measure the effectiveness of your tax department?
I use KPIs such as timely filing rates, audit outcomes, tax savings achieved, and process efficiency improvements. I also assess team engagement and professional growth, because a strong team directly impacts performance.
What are your views on technology in modern tax management?
Technology is the backbone of efficiency. I advocate for implementing ERP integrations, RPA, robotic process automation, and data analytics tools. These not only reduce errors, but also free up professionals to focus on higher value strategic work.
How do you develop leadership within your tax team?
I mentor managers to take ownership and make informed decisions. I encourage them to lead cross-functional projects and present to executives. Leadership development ensures continuity and succession readiness.
How do you see global tax trends affecting business strategy in the next 5 years?
Global tax transparency, digital reporting, and ESG-related taxation are becoming central. Companies must adapt by strengthening governance and embracing digital compliance tools. I see the tax function evolving into a strategic advisor, influencing investment and sustainability decisions.
Why do you believe you're suited for the tax director role?
My blend of technical expertise, leadership experience, and strategic vision allows me to contribute beyond compliance. I see tax as a business enabler, helping the company grow responsibly while maintaining ethical and regulatory standards. I bring both the precision of an accountant and the foresight of a strategist.